I'm Dr. Laura Berman. I've been a therapist for over 30 years, specializing in sex, love, and relationships. What if I told you that the way that you attach emotionally is the same way you show up sexually? That anxiety you feel when they don't text back, the way you shut down after a conflict, or the way that you crave closeness but maybe feel overwhelmed by it, that all shows up in the bedroom too. So, we're breaking down attachment styles in bed: anxious, avoidant, secure, disorganized, how each one impacts desire, pleasure, and emotional connection. And in the end of this video, I'm going to share the one question you can ask during intimacy that reveals so much about your attachment style and your partner's. Let's start with the basics. Attachment theory says that we each develop a unique style of relating based on how safe and attuned we felt as children growing up in our homes. And the blueprint doesn't just shape how we love, it shapes how we make love. So let's start with anxious attachment in bed. If you're anxiously attached, you might crave sex as a reassurance. You may worry that your partner doesn't desire you or is pulling away. You might be overgiving or overperforming or feel devastated by rejection, even if it's your partner being tired. So, in bed or during sex, this can look like seeking constant validation or difficulty relaxing and receiving. It could be feeling hurt if they don't initiate or if they reject your initiations for a reasonable reason. If you are avoidantly attached, you may crave independence. So you might enjoy sex, but only when it's on your terms. Too much emotional closeness can feel threatening or suffocating to you. So, in a sexual scenario, this can look like detachment or zoning out or avoiding eye contact or cuddling afterwards, wanting to get out of there as quickly as possible, or using sex only for release and not for connection or primarily for release. Now, if you are disorganized attachment or fearful attachment, you have that craving for closeness and connection, but also fear of it at the same time. And this often develops in people who experience trauma or inconsistent caregiving, where love and danger were kind of tangled together. And in a sexual scenario, this would look like an intense push and pull dynamic. So you're craving intimacy and then withdrawing from it, or you're feeling overwhelmed and dissociating during sex, or hypervigilance, where you have difficulty trusting even safe partners, or sometimes engaging in risky or emotionally detached sex to avoid intimacy. So, disorganized attachment is often the result of deep wounding and usually trauma, and healing through conscious intimacy can be incredibly transformative. So, Sex Magic, my newest book, and other somatic practices can help gently rebuild the body and connection to the self. But let's talk about secure attachment in bed. Now, the truth is, the majority of us don't have secure attachment because most of us didn't grow up in perfect families. We certainly can get there. But if you have secure attachment, you're able to be present, you're emotionally available, and comfortable with both closeness and space. So in sex, this would look like open communication about your needs, enjoying connection and exploration, comfort with giving and receiving. But here's the thing. Your attachment style can and will evolve. Just because you lean anxious or avoidant doesn't mean that you're stuck. Awareness is the first step, and intimacy becomes healing when you start noticing your patterns and choosing something new. Which brings me to the one question that can completely shift how you and your partner connect, not just emotionally, but sexually. So here it is. What helps you feel safe enough to fully let go sexually? What helps you feel safe enough to let go? That's the question. Not what turns you on or what you fantasize about, although those can be helpful, but what makes you feel safe enough to surrender emotionally, physically, energetically. This question opens the door to recognizing your attachment wounds and starting to heal them. And it invites both you and your partner to reflect. And it shows your partner that their emotional experience matters. And it teaches you how to become more attuned in a sexual sense. If this spoke to you, please subscribe and share this video with someone who's exploring intimacy and healing. You're not stuck in the way you learn to love. You can create safety, passion, and sacred connection inside and outside the bedroom. If you like this episode of The Language of Love, follow on your favorite podcast platform. I'll see you next time on The Language of Love.